Hello world, how's it going? Hope you guys are all doing great. If not, as always, I hope it gets better for you. So today I wanted to share with you a story of what happened to me today. I was actually planning on making a video for you guys, getting on a live stream for you guys about something completely different. I told you on Friday night's live stream that I would do a video for you guys, but this is not what I planned on it being. And I'm really lucky it didn't turn out to be worse. But I think sharing this story with you guys will hopefully help somebody else in the future too. So let me explain what happened and what is going on. So let me go ahead and flip you over. Rhinos Aquatics says it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Rhinos Aquatics. Hello everybody in the chat. Glad to see you all in here. But the way my day started off with was me waking up to all the fish in here sucking air. Like, there's a barb on the floor, there's discus down in the dirt, all these fish were sucking air. They're all about to go. Luckily, I captured it when I did, or actually my girlfriend did. She came down, she saw they were sucking air. I was asleep. I popped up out of bed. I'm just like, oh my God, what's going on? Ran down here, saw what was going on, and I knew exactly what was happening because I just treated some hydroplex in here the other day, and I also did it in another quarantine tank because I've been battling something with these rainbow fish. My dwarf neons kept pooping out white, which usually General Cure takes care of. And I went through the treatments of General Cure, was not taking care of it. Tried some Prozi Quintel to take care of it. And then I didn't have any Levomisol. That probably would have been my other approach. But I did have this Hydroplex, so I decided to use it. I left it in here. But what ended up happening is it killed my beneficial bacteria. I could already tell that is what probably happened because that's what normally happens when you start seeing something like that come from medications, especially if it's for bacterial kind of infections. So my beneficial bacteria was pretty much wiped out. So it was just taking its havoc on the fish. Like literally this blue discus, the really awesome one right here, he was down in the dirt. He was actually over here, down in the mulm, just mulm and dirt all over him, down on his side. It was that bad. And this guy, let's see, he's still kind of discolored. See where he's got more of the dark colors to him? He was down there, down in the dirt. I swear, if it would have been like 5 more minutes, it would have been a lot worse. But my first action was to take out the water. I knew I wanted to get dilution in the tank. Dilution's the solution when it comes to problems like that. But I knew that my beneficial bacteria was also compromised, so I knew if I was adding water into the tank, that it's not going to be getting cycled. So that's not going to help them out. So luckily, over here in these tanks, since I don't run a whole lot of filters, I do run the power heads that have foam in them. So they've been collecting beneficial bacteria, mulm, and all that stuff, which is a good thing to have on hand for situations like this. So, I mean, there's a good thing to have a filter for, is for actual beneficial bacteria in case you need it. Worst comes to worst, I could have probably scooped some out of the substrate or even used tank water, but that would have been a lot more work. It was a lot easier to squeeze those sponges in there. So what I did is after I got the water out, I was raising the water up slowly, but as I was doing that, like pretty much instantly, I just squeezed all those sponges into the aquarium, and that pretty much recycled the tank from scratch again. So after that, maybe I would say half hour or so, the blue discus finally came up off the ground. Orange one was still laying down there. But once I saw the blue one come up off the ground, I knew that I was headed the right direction and things were improving. But now he's up, he's out and all about, and luckily there was not as many deaths as there were. I did lose a small discus and a couple Panagoras. One of the Dockensia similis barbs jumped, and I did lose a couple rainbow fish. But luckily I still had the sharks, everybody else. And yeah. Luckily we got to it when we did. Because if we didn't, I swear, if it would have been a 5-10 half hour more, definitely if it would have been more than a half hour, this whole tank probably would have been toasted. So after that, I went upstairs, and I've got a quarantine tank upstairs. It's a 20-gallon. And that's where I was kind of testing this out before I wanted to use it in the 240 as like a quarantine kind of hospital mix. Because it says on the bottle you can do this, and it's called Hydroplex. Ruby Reef actually makes it. They also make that kick ick that I talk about, which is great for ick, getting rid of ick. And I've never had any problems with that. But the Hydroplex definitely did a good job of killing bacteria to the point that it killed my beneficial bacteria. But the one upstairs actually had shrimp in it, and it didn't affect the peacock gudgeons. They were kind of up at the air a little bit, but you could see it was slowly starting to like take a hold of them. But it definitely killed the shrimp first. So shrimp are definitely more affected by this sort of catastrophe before fish are. So that's something to be aware of, something to think about. That yeah, fish or shrimp are more sensitive. And these were neocaridinias too, which are usually a lot more hardy when it comes to the shrimp side, not like caridinias. But thank God they're still alive. Especially that guy, he's just awesome. Man. But I wanted to share this story with you guys because hopefully if you guys ever run into a similar situation, see your fish sucking air and you've put meds in it and you're wondering what's going on, just best thing you could do, drop the water down, dilute it, recycle it before you do add the water or while you're adding the water. Try to be quick as possible. But when you are adding water, take your time adding the water. That way you aren't getting extra temperature stresses, because if you do add those kind of temperature stresses to fish when they're already stressed out, that could also be a big problem too. So you don't want to do that. But thank God they're still alive. I can tell they're a little hungry, but I'm kind of taking my time on feeding them, because usually after something like that happens, they tend to lose their appetite and the food will sit there. But yeah, dodged a bullet. But mistakes happen, you guys know. I mean, I keep tons of amateur aquatics mistakes. I mean, I keep tons of aquariums, no filter, no issues, no problems. But you know, stuff does happen, and I did want to share that. So that just proves that it really is good, and like one of the best things to have, or really most essential thing to have, is good biologically sound water with beneficial bacteria within the water column. All right, aquarium heaters from Amazon, any recommendations? I usually get mine from eBay, and they're Odysseys. And these are 500 watt heaters I got in the back here, so there's actually 1,000 watts of heat in here. Because this tank stays at, I think it's at 84. It's kind of chill right now, around 82. Usually keeps it at 83, 84. But you can get them super cheap on eBay. I can get those I think two of those 500 watt heaters is like 50 bucks, which you're lucky to get a 300 watt heater for that cheap. Normally. But yeah, I've got to get this tank dealt with. Like, it's so hard not to just cap it off with sand like Father Fish has recommended and others, which would be like easy to do and perfect to do. J-Rad. I don't know if you're watching, J-Rad, but thank you so much, J-Rad, for becoming a Patreon. I just got a message for that. That is awesome. Huge Patreon support too. Thank you, brother. Threw down a $50 a month membership. That is awesome. But yeah, phew, dodged a bullet. I forget what I was saying now after I saw that. Oh man, I have this white cotton-like substance growing on my substrate. Can you tell me what it is and what to do? Okay, so more than likely what that is old food. So when food sits on the bottom, it'll turn white and it'll get fungusy. Now if fish eat that, it could be very deadly for them, or it could just make them sick and they won't act right for some time, and then you may be wondering what's wrong with them. And then you'll fight stuff that way. But the best thing to do with that is to get you a hose and just suck out the old nasty food, get it out of there, and just do your water change, and then you should be fine. Just don't let your fish eat them if it's sitting on the bottom like that. But that's exactly what that is. Happens all the time in tanks if you overfeed. Actually, I was really surprised how many baby bristlenose plecos were in here. When that actually happened, it brought all the fish out and everything up top. And there was probably at least 20 or 30 little baby bristlenose, albino bristlenose plecos in here. Community breeding. I swear if I put a rock pile in there, I'm sure I would get more in. And for all that are asking what happened, unfortunately, I can't tell the story over again. I'm about to hop off here, but you guys can rewatch it. And yeah, I'm going to keep this short for everybody who does have to rewatch it. So I think I got across what I was wanting to share with you guys. So I appreciate you guys all hopping on here. Hopefully this helps out some people. And thank God it wasn't worse. So till next time, everybody, have a great one. And I don't know, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. So peace. Have a great one.